American travelers book a luxury European river cruise expecting castles, wine, and the vacation of a lifetime. What nobody tells you is that 1 week of low water can quietly turn your multi-thousand-dollar cruise into a miserable, multi-day bus tour. And that's just one of the hidden realities waiting for first-time river cruisers. We are revealing 10 things almost nobody tells you before you book, including a little-known docking rule that can completely destroy the privacy you paid extra for. Let's begin with the hidden river condition that can completely change your vacation. Number 1. Your cruise can become a bus tour. When most people book a European river cruise, they imagine relaxing on deck while castles, vineyards, and villages slowly drift by. But European rivers don't always cooperate. During dry periods, water levels can become too low for river ships to navigate safely. After heavy rain, high water can prevent ships from passing beneath historic bridges. Most first-time passengers assume the cruise will be canceled. Usually it isn't. Instead, the cruise line arranges what's known as a ship swap. You'll be asked to pack your luggage, board a coach bus, and travel for several hours to another river ship waiting beyond the affected section of the river. In other words, part of your luxury river cruise temporarily becomes a bus tour. If river conditions remain difficult, this process can happen more than once during the same vacation. Most cruise lines include this possibility in their booking terms because changing river conditions are beyond anyone's control. It doesn't happen on every sailing, but when it does, you may spend hours on highways instead of relaxing on the river you paid to cruise. And that's only the first surprise. The next one can completely change the view from the cabin you paid extra for. Number 2. Your balcony may face another ship. Many travelers pay extra for a balcony cabin expecting beautiful views of castles, vineyards, and historic towns. But when your ship is docked, you may open the curtains and find another river ship parked just a few feet away. This happens because docking space in Europe's historic city centers is limited. During busy travel periods, several river ships often tie up side by side in a practice called rafting. If your ship is in the middle, your balcony may face another passenger's cabin instead of the river. Many travelers keep their curtains closed until the ship's separate. There's another surprise too. If your ship isn't next to the dock, you'll usually walk through 1 or 2 other cruise ships before reaching shore. Rafting is completely normal on European rivers, but it's one of the biggest surprises for first-time passengers, especially those who paid extra for a balcony. And speaking of surprises, the next one catches some travelers off guard because your ship doesn't always stay where you left it. Number 3. Your ship can leave you behind. On an ocean cruise, your ship usually stays at the same dock all day. A river cruise often works very differently. You might leave the ship in the morning to tour a castle or historic town. While you're sightseeing, the ship quietly sails farther down the river to its next docking point. Instead of returning to where you started, your tour bus takes you to a completely different town to rejoin the ship. This helps cruise lines save time, reduce docking delays, and keep the itinerary moving. The problem comes if you skip the organized excursion without checking the daily schedule. You could return to the dock expecting your ship to be waiting, only to find an empty pier because your floating hotel has already sailed several miles downstream. That's why it's essential to check the daily program and confirm where the ship will be before exploring on your own. And that's not the only surprise hidden behind the brochure's fine print. Next comes the all-inclusive promise that often isn't as all-inclusive as many first-time travelers expect. Number 4. All-inclusive isn't really all-inclusive. When you hear all-inclusive, you probably expect drinks whenever you want them. On many European river cruises, that's not how it works. Beer, wine, and soft drinks are often included only during lunch and dinner. Order a cocktail in the afternoon or a glass of wine later that evening, and it may be charged to your onboard account unless you've purchased a beverage package. 1 or 2 drinks don't seem expensive, but over a week, those extra charges can add hundreds of dollars to your final bill. Every cruise line has different rules, so always check exactly what's included before you book. Paying a little more upfront can sometimes save you much more later. And drinks aren't the only unexpected expense waiting on board. Number 5. You'll eat with the same people every night. Many first-time river cruisers expect the flexibility of an ocean cruise. Instead, you may find yourself eating dinner with the same group of strangers every night. Most river ships have just one main dining room, one dinner seating, and a limited number of tables for two. If you're traveling as a couple, you may be seated with 4, 6, or even 8 other guests for the entire cruise. Some travelers love it. By the end of the trip, they've made new friends and shared stories from around the world. Others find it exhausting, especially if they were hoping for quiet, private dinners together. If smaller tables are available, many cruise lines will try to accommodate your request. But because space is limited, it's not always possible. And after several days on board, another surprise starts showing up inside your suitcase. Number 6. Laundry costs add up fast. Many first-time river cruisers assume they'll be able to wash clothes on board. On most European river ships, they can't. Unlike large ocean cruises, most river ships don't have self-service laundry rooms. If you need clean clothes, you'll usually have to use the ship's laundry service. The catch is that you're charged per item. Shirts, pants, socks, and even undergarments are all priced separately. Over a 7 or 10-day cruise, those charges can easily add up to more than $100. Experienced river cruisers often avoid the extra cost by packing enough clothes for the trip or bringing a small amount of travel detergent to wash lightweight items in the cabin sink. It's a simple trick that can save you a surprising amount of money. But clean clothes won't help much if you can't sleep through the night. Number 7. River nights aren't always quiet. River cruises are peaceful during the day. At night, they can be surprisingly noisy. Many European rivers use locks to raise or lower ships as they travel through different elevations. Because most lock crossings happen overnight, passengers may hear engines working harder, heavy metal gates closing, and powerful thrusters pushing the ship into position. If you're staying on the lower deck, especially near the back of the ship, you may also feel vibrations as the ship moves through the lock. Many passengers sleep through it without any problem. But if you're a light sleeper, a simple pair of earplugs can make a big difference. Fortunately, the next surprise has nothing to do with noise. It begins after dinner, when many first-time passengers discover the ship becomes much quieter than they expected. Number 8. The ship shuts down early. If you're expecting the nightlife of a large ocean cruise, you're in for a surprise. Most European river cruises become very quiet by around 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. After spending the day exploring historic towns and walking miles over cobblestone streets, most passengers are ready to relax rather than stay up late. Evening entertainment is usually simple. You might find a pianist in the lounge or a local folk performance after dinner, but don't expect Broadway-style shows, casinos, or late-night parties. For many travelers, that's part of the appeal. They book river cruises for the destinations, not the nightlife. But if you're expecting lively evenings, the quiet atmosphere can feel very different from an ocean cruise. And while the evenings are peaceful, the next secret is even more important, especially if you have ongoing health concerns. Number 9. No doctor on board. Many first-time cruisers assume every cruise ship has its own medical center. That's true for most large ocean ships. River cruises are different. Because river ships stay close to towns and cities throughout the journey, they usually don't carry onboard doctors or full medical clinics. If someone becomes seriously ill or has a medical emergency, the captain will normally arrange for the ship to dock at the nearest suitable location. Local emergency services are then called to meet the passenger. In many cases, help arrives quickly because you're never far from shore. Still, it's something worth knowing before you travel. If you take prescription medication, always pack enough for the entire trip, plus a few extra days in case of travel delays. It's also a good idea to carry your medications in your hand luggage rather than your checked suitcase. Most river cruises go smoothly without any medical problems. But being prepared gives you one less thing to worry about while you're enjoying your vacation. And finally, let's end with one secret that can actually save you thousands of dollars. Number 10. The cheapest cabin is often the best. Most first-time river cruisers assume a balcony cabin is worth the extra money. Many experienced river cruisers disagree. Lower deck cabins have smaller windows close to the waterline, which is why some travelers jokingly call them aquarium cabins. But here's the catch. You'll probably spend most of your vacation exploring towns, visiting castles, or relaxing on the sun deck, not sitting inside your cabin. And when ships are docked side by side, your balcony may end up facing another cruise ship just a few feet away. Many passengers simply keep their curtains closed for privacy, making that expensive balcony far less useful. Meanwhile, lower-deck passengers enjoy the same itinerary, the same dining, and the same excursions while paying significantly less. Some even prefer the unique water-level view, where ducks, swans, and other river life pass right outside the window. For many budget-conscious travelers, it's one of the best values on the entire ship. European river cruises are still one of the best ways to explore the heart of Europe. You unpack once, wake up in a new town almost every morning, and spend your days walking through castles, vineyards, and centuries-old villages instead of constantly changing hotels. The difference is knowing what to expect before you book. Understanding how river cruising really works helps you choose the right cabin, avoid unexpected costs, prepare for things like ship swaps and rafting, and enjoy the experience with realistic expectations instead of expensive surprises. No vacation is perfect, but the better prepared you are, the better your trip usually becomes. Now I'd love to hear from you. If you've taken a European river cruise, what surprised you the most? Was it the ship swap, the rafting, the quiet evenings, or something completely different? Share your experience in the comments. Your advice could help someone avoid an expensive mistake on their very first river cruise. And if you enjoy honest cruise tips, travel advice, and insider secrets that most brochures never mention, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.